Rosegarden Part 2. Okay, here we're going to look at Rosegarden. Last time I showed you how to choose different synthesizer plugins and how to draw notes out manually with the mouse. Let's look at other options here. I'm going to choose our draw tool here. I'm going to draw a little bar here, and I'm going to stretch it out to be about this length here. So now I can double click it. And last time we chose a note over here and started drawing. Let's show you another way to do that. We can press, once again, you'll still have to choose the length of your note, but you can start actually hitting the keys on your keyboard, your regular QWERTY keyboard. I'm not talking MIDI keyboard here, so your keyboard that you type with when you're in this mode. If you start at Z at the bottom and work your way across the bottom row, it's like you play on a keyboard, and then you can go up to Q, and those are all your white keys. And then for your sharps and your flats, the black keys will correspond, like S and D should be some keys there. So if I hit Z now, you see it drew a note. Now doing it this way with the QWERTY keyboard, I always find that the first note gets drawn on twice. You see what I mean? It put two notes in the same spot. But from here on out, I can and that was played just on my MIDI, no, sorry, my QWERTY keyboard, my letter keyboard that you type with. Now I can erase this note here, and we can play back what we just listened to. And now you heard the other note too. When we press play here, it's actually playing all our instrument tracks. So it's playing both the tracks we have instruments on. So as you'll see when I press play here, that's why you're hearing the two different instruments. Now if you just want to hear one or the other, you can mute this track. So I'll mute the first track by clicking on this blue ball, this blue light, and turn it off. So now I can press play, and you only hear that track. You can also right click and have some options here. Well, I thought you could right click to choose solo track, but I guess not. So this is mute. Now this other light next to here is record, and that's when you're recording from a MIDI device. So I'll give you an example. I'm just going to hit Control A, which selects all, and hit delete to delete everything. Now if we look at our jack control window here, you'll see this connect button. When you click that, it shows you all your MIDI devices. And under here, under ALSA, you can see on the left side our output devices, and right here I've got my USB Oxygen 61, which is my MIDI keyboard, which I've talked about in the past. It's a great keyboard. And then over here you have devices or inputs, and we want to choose Rosegarden, and we click connect, and you'll see it draws a little line. Let me zoom in here for you. So it drew a little line from the Oxygen to the Rosegarden. So this is just like a soundboard, and you're connecting the inputs and outputs. So that is how you connect your MIDI keyboard to Rosegarden. Now if I play on my MIDI keyboard, and you can hear the different instruments, and it plays based on what track I have selected. You hear that instrument. So now, let's say I want to record. I can press record here. And you can hear, you get your metronome, and you can see it recording my notes on that track. Now, it's recording on that track because we have this little orange light clicked on here. Let me choose that and hit delete, and I'll go back to the beginning here. I can actually choose more than one recording track, and I can press record. And you can see it recorded the instruments to all three of those tracks. So if I play it back now, it'll play back all three. And you also notice that it trimmed up the beginning and the end. So let me give you another example of that. I'll delete those. Go back here. I'll press record. You see I'm not playing anything at the beginning. And then I'll play a few notes. And then I won't play anything for a little bit. If I hit stop, you see it automatically trimmed up that based on where I started and where I ended. It didn't trim right to where I ended. It trimmed to the closest little bar there. Also, since we're talking about recording this way, you can quantize tracks. And what that means is you can choose quantize here, and it'll ask you what you want to quantize to. And you can quantize to the closest 16th note, 8th note, quarter note, half note, all these here. And what that does is, if you're trying to play a note every quarter note and you're a little bit off, you can choose a quarter note and it will move all those notes to the closest quarter note. Now you see it made a big difference here. If I zoom in for you here, all these tracks should be the same. But you see this one's different because I just quantized the closest quarter track. So it took all the notes and put them right on the grid of the closest quarter note. That's what quantizing is. And it's good if you're just a little bit off, but if you're majorly off, it might put the note in the wrong spot. So let me zoom out here and I'll right click and quantize this one, and I'll quantize this one to the closest half note. Okay, so now when I zoom in, you'll see, if I can get that bar to pop away. There we go. This one did every half note. So this one was every quarter note. So every quarter note, you can see it moved those notes to there, and every half note, it moved the ones that were closest to those. So anyway, that's what quantizing is. I'm sure a lot of you knew that, but I'm just trying to teach you if you didn't. So that's recording with your QWERTY keyboard and with your MIDI keyboard. Hope you're learning. Visit filmsbychris.com for more video tutorials like this. Have a great day.